Welcome to B4. Book. You have the pipeline. You have the offer. Now we close. This module is about what happens when a real human walks in and says, I'm interested. Not your email list, a person on a call. Ready to hear more? Today we build the conversation, the proposal, and the follow-up that closes without making you feel like a used car salesperson. Let's go. 3 deliverables today. First, a discovery call script personalized to your offer and your ideal client. Second, a coaching proposal template you can send within 2 hours of every call. Third, a 3 email follow-up sequence that closes with integrity, not pressure. Here's the important framing. B3 gave you the pipeline. Today, we handle what happens when a real person actually walks through it. These are the 3 moments between I'm interested and I'm in. Let's build all 3. Let me say something directly before we get into the framework. Most coaches fail on discovery calls, not because they're bad coaches. They fail because they're running the wrong type of conversation. They go in trying to close, and that intention, that need to close, is visible. The prospect feels it. And when people feel sold to, they pull back. The reframe is simple. A discovery call is a fit assessment. Your only job is to find out if you can genuinely help this person. That's it, not to convince, not to pitch, to assess. When that's your only goal, everything changes. You relax, they relax, and the real conversation starts. Here's the structure I use and that I recommend to every coach I work with. 6 phases, about 30 minutes total. Context, let them settle in and tell you what's going on. Challenge and what they've tried, what hasn't worked. Cost, what staying stuck is actually costing them. Vision, what would be different if this were solved. Offer, here's how I can help. Does this feel like a fit? Close? What would you need to move forward? Notice where the offer lives. 5th, after context, after challenge, after cost, after vision. By the time you describe the offer, they've already heard themselves describe the problem 4 times from 4 different angles. The offer lands differently when they've done that work. You need to learn to read the room during a discovery call, and specifically, you need to stop treating silence as a no. Silence after a price is almost always interest. The prospect is doing math. They're picturing it. They're not saying no. They're thinking. The coach who jumps in to fill that silence with a discount loses the sale they were about to close. And that's expensive. That's a buying signal. Broke people don't negotiate. Only people who are genuinely considering it tell you the price feels high. The response to that's expensive is not a lower price. It's a question. What would make it feel worth it? That's a conversation about value, not a concession. Coaches resist scripts because they think scripts make them sound robotic. The opposite is true. A script handles the structure so your brain can focus on what matters, listening to the person in front of you. Without a script, you're improvising both the structure and the conversation at the same time. That's exhausting, and it means you're always half present. With a script, you know exactly where you are. You know what phase you're in. You know what comes next. And that security, that's what lets you be fully in the room. Internalize it over 2 or 3 calls, and it disappears. What remains is the ability to be completely present because you're not thinking about what to say next. This prompt builds your complete discovery call script, from your opening line to the money moment to the close. Personalized to your offer and your ideal client. The piece I want you to focus on when you run it is step 4, the money moment. Be honest about what you currently do when you name a price. Do you cave? Do you rush past it? Do you over-justify? The script it writes will replace your current pattern with something that actually works. Copy the prompt. Run it before your next discovery call. The money moment, this is where most coaches lose the sale, not to a bad offer, but to their own discomfort. Here's the script. The investment is price. Then you stop. You don't follow it with but. You don't say just before it. You don't immediately offer a discount. You name the number and you let it land. Then, after the silence, you say, what's coming up for you? That question does 2 things. It invites them to respond without pressure, and it makes you stop talking. The coach who can say a number and sit in silence has a fundamental advantage because they're demonstrating in the most direct way possible that they believe in the value of what they do. The call ends. Now the clock starts. The window for your proposal is tight. Proposals sent within 2 hours of the call convert at 2 to 3 times the rate of proposals sent the next day. Not because the proposal is better, because the call is still fresh. They can still hear your voice. They're still in the feeling of the conversation. Wait until tomorrow and you're fighting through everything else that happened in their life between then and now. Send it within 2 hours every time. Build it into your post-call routine. Hang up notes, proposal, send. Most coaches skip the proposal step. They expect the conversation to close the sale, and some do. But the ones that don't leave a lot of money on the table because there's nothing tangible for the prospect to review, to share with a partner, to hold in their hand. A written proposal doubles conversion for one reason. It proves you were listening. When a prospect reads their own situation described back to them accurately in their own language with the details they shared with you, and the sale is essentially done, they're not reading to decide, they're reading to confirm. That's why section 1, what I heard, is the most important section in the proposal. Run this prompt immediately after every discovery call. Within 30 minutes of hanging up, while the details are still fresh and their words are still in your head. The most important input is step 2. What they actually told you, not a summary. Their words as close as you remember them. That's what goes in the what I heard section, and that's what converts. Copy the prompt. Use it today. Send the proposal before you go to sleep. Let me give you the quick version of what makes proposals work versus what makes them fail. Fail, a template with the prospect's name at the top and your services page copy pasted in. Works, 5 sections under a page where every sentence connects back to something they actually told you. Fail, sending it 2 days later. Works, sending it within 2 hours while the call is alive in both of your minds. Fail, feel free to reach out if you have questions. Works, I'm holding your spot through Friday. To move forward, sign here. 1 clear action, 1 page, sent fast. That's the entire formula. Here's the follow-up problem in 1 sentence. Coaches stop following up after 1 email because they're afraid of being pushy. And in doing so, they abandon people who were genuinely interested but just got busy. 80% of sales require 5 or more contacts. Most coaches make 1. The prospect who goes quiet after your proposal hasn't said no. They may have had a bad week. They may be waiting for end of month. They may have genuinely intended to reply and just haven't. Following up isn't chasing, it's holding space for someone who said they were interested. This prompt writes your 3 follow-up emails, day 3, day 7, and day 14, personalized to this specific prospect. And it gives you a reusable template at the end so you can adapt it for every future call. The day 7 email is the one that often surprises coaches. It leads with value, an insight, a resource, something genuinely useful to this person based on what they told you on the call. No pitch up front, just a reason for them to feel glad they heard from you. Run this prompt immediately after the proposal goes out. Schedule all 3 emails in your calendar, then don't touch it. I want to address the coaches in this group who feel gross about sales, the ones who say, I'm not a salesperson, I don't want to pressure people. Here's what I want to say to you directly. If you genuinely believe you can help someone and they told you they have a problem you can solve, following up with them is an act of service, not pressure, service. You're saying, I heard your problem. I know I can help. I'm not going to let the awkwardness of follow-up cost you the solution. That's integrity. The discomfort of sending a follow-up email is nothing compared to the cost of them staying stuck. After day 14, let it go clean. You showed up fully. That's what you can control. Before you close, download the 3 prompts. Here's the order to run them. Script builder before your next discovery call. Proposal generator within 30 minutes of every call. Follow-up builder right after the proposal goes out. You're not just building prompts, you're building a system. Every call, every proposal, every follow-up, it gets more consistent, more confident, more effective. One thing, schedule those 3 follow-up dates in your calendar the moment you send the proposal. Day 3, day 7, day 14. Put them in. The system only works if it runs. Amicio, you built the book system. a discovery call that runs like a real conversation, a proposal that proves you were listening, a follow up that closes with integrity. Here's your one thing this week: run a practice discovery call with someone, a colleague, a past client who'd be willing, anyone. Run your new script. You'll feel the difference immediately. Next week is B5, back end. This is the delivery system. Client onboarding, session structure, the tools that let you serve clients brilliantly without burning out. This is the work that makes your clients renew, refer, and rave about you. Go build something great. I'm Jackie Schwab, and this is Building with AI.